Welcome back. Today, we're going to create an interactive story on Scratch. We're going to use three different characters, which is a cat, a duck, and also a monkey. These three will be our characters for today. We'll take the cat down to size 70, the duck to size 80, and the monkey also to size 80. We go down to backdrops and give them a background. We'll put them in the forest today. Move the cat up here, duck down here, and the monkey up here. For the duck, we want to turn the duck so it's looking the other way. Right there. So now we go back to the cat and make sure to rename it. Because if you don't, you'll have some problems down the line with the code. So first things first, we're going to take when green flag is clicked. Like I said last time, this starts the code for everyone. Then we want the cat to be constantly pointing or looking in this direction. So we'll just have him here and we have point in direction 90 degrees. So we want the cat to walk down here to start the dialogue. So we move it manually down here and then take the go to block and place it in here. We'll take him back up right here. And if we click this, he goes down there. So we want him to go down there and then move him up a bit and use the glide command. And then take him all the way back up here. So he goes there and walks up here. And then we go down to looks and take the say hello for 2 seconds command. And we click here and rename it to hey duck, are you here? This is asking the cat here is now asking the duck if he's around. Because for now, we're going to assume that the cat cannot see the duck or the monkey at this point. So when we click the green flag, he comes here and asks a question for 2 seconds. And then we're going to go down to events and use broadcast. This is a message that tells this message tells the other sprites what to do without the green flag. So we're going to rename this to time for duck to come and click OK. For now, we're going to leave these two and completely work on a code for just the cat. We move to when I receive, because now we're planning ahead of time, so we don't have to come back to the cat anymore. So then we use a new message and say, time for cat to leave. We duplicate this, place it here, and rename it. So time for cat to ask a question. We duplicate it again and rename this one to time for cat to ask about monkey. We duplicate it one more time. This is the final duplicate we're going to do for the cat. Then this one, we change it to time for cat to say, let's get going. Now we're going to take the say hello command again and change this to, okay, let's get going. For this one, for this code, we're going to add, go down to the control tab and take this wait 1 second command. I'm going to click on it and change it to 3 seconds so we can have enough time for the code to work. We go back to looks and take the say hello command and type in I'll get going now, which is saying the cat is about to leave. So since if you're leaving, you're not going to be walking backwards, we're going to take the points in direction and adjust this to -90. So now the cat's going to look the other way while it walks out. So he's going to be around here. We want him to go all the way over here. So we take the glide and place it here. And that's it for this. For this one, we're going to ask, the cat's asking the duck, is Monkey still on his way? To confirm if Monkey's still coming. And then we duplicate the broadcast. And then this is to tell the duck to respond, saying he is on his way. We leave that. Then for the final code for the cat, we're going to go down to sensing and scroll down. This command says, ask what's your name and wait. We're going to take it and rename it to, do you guys want to grab a bite? Then go back to the Events tab and use broadcast. For this, we're going to name it to answer the question. And that's the final code we're going to need for the cat. And then we move on to the duck. Same thing as last time, we're going to use when green flag is clicked. So since the duck is going to be walking towards him, we want him to be somewhere around here. So we go over to motion, and then add the go to block to this. Yeah, we can move him back. Now we're going to go over to the Events tab and use when I receive. Now you want to change this to answer the question. And then we go down to control and use the if then command. Go down to operators and take this one, equals to 50, and put it in here. So we want to change this to yes to be able to get a good answer. And then go over to sensing and take answer and put it here. Now we go back to looks and use say hello and change this to sure. That's a way of him responding. Next, we're going to use, under the Events tab, we're going to use when I receive. Now we change this to time for duck to come. And then we want him to glide over now a bit backwards away from the cat. So we use motion, then glide. Rather, I think it'll be better if we take the go-to block out, set him around here, and then use this. Then the glide makes him go all the way over here. So we're going to leave that like that for now. And if it doesn't look good, we'll change it later. We'll go over to looks, and you say hello for 2 seconds. Change that to I'm over here. Alerting the cat the duck has arrived. And then we're going to go over to events and broadcast. Again, change that to time for cat to ask about the monkey. Next, we're going to take when I receive, answer the question, and change this to answer the question. We go down to control and grab the second if command, which is if then, else, and put it here. We also want to grab another if then command and have it here for now. So now we're going to right click on this and duplicate it. So we have this and put it in here. We're going to want to duplicate that again, place it outside, and change the yes to a no. From there, we're going to grab it and put it in here. Now we're going to take the if command and put it under else. Now we're going to go over to looks and take the say hello again, and then this one, and put it here. So for this, he just says, sure. For this, he says, I'm okay. Thank you for asking. You know what? We'll just leave it as I'm okay, to be simple and short. And then we go back to events and use broadcast and place it in between both of these. Now you're going to use new message and say, rather, you just check and see if you have the message here, which is time for cat to leave, and use that. If you don't, you want to add a new message. And then lastly, we're going to move that over there. For the duck, lastly, we want to add this, when I receive. And then change this. Look, which this says he's on his way. We're going to take that one, go back to looks, and take say hello. And change this to he should be here any second now. Now we're talking about the monkey. Okay, now we go back to events and use broadcast one more time. And just look again. If you don't have the message, now you add a new message. It says time for monkey to come. Now, these 5 codes are going to define what the duck are going to do. Lastly, we want the monkey to do something. We don't want him just standing there. Excuse me. We're going to reduce his size a bit so he doesn't look too big against the others. I think that's good. And now we're going to add the final when green flag is clicked. This is to reset his position to come back here. Go back to motion and use the go-to block. We're going to use down in events when I receive. I'm going to take that and look again for time for monkey to come, which is this one, which coming from the duck. See, it's the same one here as this one. And we're going to go to control and wait 1 second, but change that to be a few more seconds. Let's say like 4. And then we want something like the glide. We want the glide command to move him somewhere down here. Go back to motion and say glide. Then go back to looks and say, let's put that in and say, sorry, I'm late. Go back to events so we can broadcast this and say, time for cat to ask the question. And then for the final set of code for the monkey and for the interactive story, we see this code right here. We're going to do something similar to it down here, which is when I receive answer the question and grab control, if else, if then, else, and grab the if then also, and just put it in here. You can also do it without this because this is just like a duplicate, just in case this doesn't work. But we're not going to do it for monkey. We're just going to have it play out like this. Then we're going to go back to operators, take the equals to 50, and take this. You can also duplicate it. For sensing, we want answer for both of them. Change this to yes. And change this to no. So from there, we want to add the say hello, and change this to sure. Let's go. Go back to events and use the broadcast. Say this should say time for cat to say let's get going. For this one, we're going to duplicate this and put it in here and change this to no, I'm all right. Then change this broadcast to time for cat to leave. So for now, we're gonna click this just to be sure that the code will work. And click it, and it's gonna play out. So as we can see, each code is constantly moving and talking, but not with audio. So now you see it brings up a prompt for me to type. If I click yes and click enter, it will respond. And that's the end of it. But if I click it again and let it play out, when that prompt comes out, I'm gonna type in no. And hopefully we should see a different response. So now I'm gonna say no, click enter, and then people have a different response. Then the cat, see right there, we have that, which we don't want. So we're gonna go back to the cat right here. We're gonna stop this, and we're gonna look at the code. See right here, it says point. It just says point in direction. Excuse me. We don't want the cat to turn upside down when he's going back. So for this, we're going to use this and click on this instead. So now we'll let it play out again. So now we're going to use no this time, just so we make sure the cat doesn't turn upside down. right there. He just turns around and walks to the edge. He physically cannot go past it. So that's the end, and we're gonna take it that he's completely out of the picture right now. He's completely covered. So that will be the end for today. Please give a like and subscribe, and hopefully next time I'll be able to do more and